Never argue with a woman. Women aren't arguing with you about what you said. They're going back and forth with you based on how they feel about what you said. For example, you could be talking to your girl and you say, I think you need to eat healthier and go to the gym because you're becoming overweight and it's unhealthy. She's going to argue with you, not based on what you said, but based on how she feels about what you said. What you said is true, but she doesn't like how it makes her feel. So this is why it doesn't make sense to argue with a woman.
Learning female nature will make you more masculine, which will also make you more attractive to the woman that you deal with. You probably learned about female nature or found a video through searching advice through a particular experience that you personally went through. And with that being said, a part of the things that you learn to handle certain situations a bit differently. And you wouldn't do little feminine stuff that you would do in the past. For example, texting a girl, you probably text a girl in a more clear, direct, logical way without a lot of emotion or a lot of emojis or anything like that, right? All these little different things you learn overall make you appear more masculine, including in person too. Learning how to talk to a girl, how to physically escalate with a girl, etc., etc. It's gonna make you appear more masculine, which also makes you more attractive.
Hello everybody, back in the office. Today I'll talk about what to do if you're having trouble accepting female nature on all fronts. If you're a man and you've been dumped, brokenhearted, confused, or cheated on, what should you do? If you're old-fashioned, what do you do? If you're actually trying to make your way through all of this, what do you do? If you're starting from scratch, what should you do? First and foremost, you must accept that you require patience. Some of you are in 2021. You need to fix it at the present time. The questions you need to ask yourself include, for instance, why are you hurrying? You might come to terms with these facts if you do. You won't fully comprehend it until you're 35 years old. If you can maintain the attitude that life is long, you might feel bad right now, but you might get better in 5 or 10 years. Come hell or high water. Time heals everything. It doesn't matter if some of you were dumped last week, are going to be dumped today, or were dumped or heartbroken 2 years ago. It is your responsibility as a mature man to improve, reconcile with the data you have, and logistically sort this out. Determine this for yourself. But you have to be patient. Nothing that hurts now will hurt as much a year from now or 2 years from now. It's simply a reality. You have a better chance of reaching your peak sooner the older you get. This must be understood for a moment. The value of a man rises with age. We know this. To get to the highest point of your true capacity, to be an alluring man, you need to make the changes intellectually, genuinely, and mentally that you will invest the energy to form yourself into the kind of man that can order choices. Numerous men are attempting to hack the system. That means they're trying so hard to understand games that they have no choice but to oversell themselves. They are attempting to comprehend women's communication patterns in order to hopefully form these false attachments. You are either attracted to someone or you aren't. You take the time putting into female nature and grasping this stuff. However, for the majority of your life, you must structure yourself to achieve full stack and peak performance. Let's look at the 3 items right now. First, too many of you give up on your goals and dreams far too easily. You cannot take away those relationships from me. The hundreds of approaches I had to learn from the heartbreaks, the ways I had to talk to women, and the attachments I had to learn how to build. The difference is that I actually went there and showed my face. I went and promised myself that I would reach my peak. I could have remained the same individual. Every day, you are making a conscious decision about whether you are going to remain the same person or whether you are actually going to change and grow. Even if you took these things away from me, you couldn't take away the character traits of dedication, sacrifice, and resilience that I had to face in order to become a man. I made choices in my life that were so difficult to change. You are genuinely putting yourself at risk of not living up to your potential by choosing to engage in sloth-like behavior every day and not build the man. You are sabotaging your own potential. Set the tone for your life. Like the house you live in, how you work, run your business, and how you talk to each other. Setting a true frame takes years. Even a woman who enters that life can tell you have one. You can become attractive as a man. You can work on your life to the place where you can swindle a framework. This is the very thing that you need to find some peace with. You have work to do if you're in this mode of patience, because there is a difference between a man who has done it and a man who hasn't. The message is conveyed correctly. Hypergamy comes into play at this point. Self-improvement will demonstrate your ability to win past hypergamy. That can only happen if you actually know the steps that lead to success with hypergamy. Let me provide a few examples. Fitness was the most important thing I needed to get right when I first started my self-improvement journey toward becoming a man or a strong man. I didn't lose my focus until I got fit and built up my body. I had a hard time expressing any kind of dating market value. I had a hard time getting around. For the first time, I was able to do this one thing well. A woman should at least be interested. I was able to get that right, and it worked. It was a first step. The fact of the matter is that 95% of the other men who were more well-rounded or had better social skills did not have this one aspect. I was fit all of a sudden because I had less fat in my body, a better jawline, and ultimately more muscle maturity. But that wasn't the end of it. I continued. I should probably learn to master charisma and game. I should learn to accept genuine desire from a woman. I put in a lot of work. I looked absolutely stunning. However, when I began to communicate more effectively, I realized that this was one of my quickest victories. I and this woman were suddenly busy and ready to leave within 45 to 50 minutes. I am able to speak as well as perform. If I concentrate on this for 3, 4, or 5 years, I will build my brand, my business, and who I am. You will have a better chance of actually having the lifestyle and relationship you want if you keep it moving and keep improving yourself. Because it is becoming increasingly difficult for that woman to imitate the character traits that she sees in me, I am able to command stable respect with virtually any woman I choose for the first time in my life. The outcomes will be evident when you accept the female nature and comprehend patience and stepping stone productivity. Although you will suffer regardless if you put in the effort to reach the top, which is much simpler, you will be delighted with the outcome. One thing you need to understand is that I could either suffer doing that or suffer being miserable and without options. Regardless, you're going to suffer. The majority of guys reject masculine competence for the following reasons. Competence indicates intelligence and problem-solving ability. How can I fix this, and which parts of my life can I reassemble to become full stack? You won't learn anything like this in school. This truly isn't stuff you can gain from your folks. For the first time in your life, you must lead your own life, and you must think for yourself in order to figure it out. Those of you who claim to have quit the game have given up on what might have been your potential. You are only depriving yourself of something. Try not to be terrified to win. Say, I'm going to get smart. I'm going to figure it out. You assume masculine competency. Many of you are afraid to win. When you put in the effort, winning feels great. It's like you get to reap what you've worked so hard for. We have the mentality that no one is more important than us. We are more significant than anyone else. You must correct these issues. There is no other way if we aren't fixed and don't think highly of ourselves. There is no value in helping other people if we are incapable of fixing ourselves. You will discover your purpose and actually begin to love life when you put all of this together. I would advise you to take one action if any of these subjects made sense to you. You will suffer regardless if you choose your heart. I truly hope this video was helpful to you. Click the like button, subscribe and comment. We'll see you in the next one.